Let's talk about the question discussed by Stanilan, Royo, and Dell in 2024 in their article From Inclusion to Indigenization, Maori Methodologies for Diversity Scholarship. Stanilan, Royo, and Dell confront the question on whether leadership, management, and research should continue relying mostly on Western ways of thinking or also recognize indigenous Maori ways of understanding people and communities. The authors answer that indigenous Maori ways of thinking should not only be included, but should also help shape how organizations understand diversity, inclusion, and belonging. He means to say that simply including indigenous people is not enough. Leaders and managers should also value Maori knowledge, culture, and traditions because this offers important ideas that Western approaches may not always see. He justified this by discussing the following supporting points. First, Western approaches sometimes explains indigenous experiences only from a Western point of view. Second, Maori methodologies focus on people, relationships, communities, and shared responsibility. And third, indigenous Maori approaches provide new ways of understanding diversity, inclusion, and belonging while creating a positive change for communities. With these ideas in mind, we would now like to share our own reflection on the author's claim.
In the face of Staniland, Rufio, and Dale's claim, we now argue that good leadership and management should not only include different cultures, but should also learn from them and allow them to shape the way decisions are made. In other words, we are convinced that organizations become stronger when leaders respect different ways of thinking and recognize the values of the communities they serve. However, other thinkers object to this, asserting that one standard management approach is enough because it creates consistency and makes organizations easier to manage. They mean that leaders do not need to change their approach for different communities as long as the organization achieves its goals. To this, we reply that every organization or every community has its own culture, values, and experiences. So, if leaders ignore these differences, they may not fully understand the people they serve or build lasting trust with them.
To illustrate, take the case of a school principal who wants to start a new community reading program. Instead of deciding alone, the principal first meets with the teachers, the parents, students, and community elders to listen to their ideas before making the final plan. This case reveals that good leadership and management are not only focused about making decisions quickly, they are also about listening, respecting different perspectives, building strong relationships, and allowing the community to become part of the decision making process. When people feel heard and respected, they become more willing to support a shared goal. Therefore, we agree with Staniland, Rui, and Dell that Maori ways of thinking offer a valuable lessons for leadership and management because they remind us that strong organizations are built through respect, relationship, inclusion, and shared responsibility. At the same time, we believe these values become even more effective when they are combined with professional knowledge to meet the needs of today's organizations. So, starting today as managers, we will respect the different cultures, listen carefully to the communities we serve, learn from their experiences, and make decisions that benefit both the organization and the people within it. Thank you for watching.